This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. By the way, at 5 p.m. Eastern, me and Jack Kilby will be doing a fan discussion on Andre the Giant right here on the Hannibal TV. Tony Khan made a comment about Eric Bischoff, who appeared on NXT this week in a segment that was overall, to be honest, fairly boring, but Eric did a good job of what he was told to do in the segment. But as far as his comments on what Eric Bischoff has been saying about AEW, he's basically been telling the truth about all the mistakes they've been making lately, which apparently they're on track to lose at least 40 million this year. This is what Khan said about Bischoff. Quote, I have no idea. I really don't care what he says. We've done really, really well, and we've got a great thing going with AEW. We've got something really, really to be proud of, end quote. So he says really 4 times in that. So he must be telling the truth because he's really telling the truth, right? The one thing that's kind of annoying about Khan, and by the way, the most interesting thing about AEW right now is the story of the downfall of AEW, at least to most people. Just why don't you say we're working on getting better, or we've had our issues? As far as what Bischoff says, he has some points. We're working on making this better, or something like that. But just to be in full denial, we're really, really, really good. Everything's really, really, really great. Then you just come off as a liar. By the way, NXT is doing a pay-per-view in an 8,000 seat building this week that only has about 1,500 tickets out. I believe that's in Minneapolis tonight. And NXT is coming to where they used to tape Superstar in Lowell, Massachusetts in the coming weeks. Only has 700 tickets pre-sold. So they're not killing any numbers with their ticket sales either. Even though, the ratings and ticket sales, I guess you could say, for both NXT and AEW aren't that far off. AEW is taping Collision from a Comic-Con tonight. How the mighty have fallen. Here's another weird thing. I've been documenting the whole thing, the feud with AEW and GCW, which is an independent company that even self-admitted in an interview with John Paz recently, it's had some flop shows recently, and it's not the strongest it's ever been because the independents in general aren't that hot right now for numerous reasons, including most of the better wrestlers being signed. Since there's like a feud right now between AEW and WWE, and they're signing people not even work apparently too, just to have them under contract. And also wrestlers are asking for more money than ever for the indies, and people just aren't coming out to them. PWG isn't even running anymore. They used to be one of the hottest ones. But here, yeah, I was talking about GCW. I am not a fan of Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona at all. Total dick of a person. Total dick. And overrated. But he's been a GCW mainstay. And GCW is running at this Hammerstein Ballroom in January in New York. AEW has come in with 3 shows the month before. So there's a bit of a feud going on where AEW recently pulled Ricky Starks from a GCW show. And now Matt Cardona, who has been a GCW regular, I don't know if he's signed to a contract with AEW or just doing appearances with AEW, but he's going to be on the Hammerstein Ballroom, one of the Hammerstein Ballroom shows now. So it's like, that's really not going to draw you any. It's not like he's that hot right now. But is that like a shot to AEW? Okay, we're going to take Matt Cardona, one of the guys you've been using regularly. It's just funny that that AEW is lowering themselves to like indie company feud levels now. But the other funny thing is, if you are hiring Cardona, why are you hiring more people? If supposedly it was reported the other day there's 200 wrestlers under contract, why do you need more people? Why don't you just use the people that are not over and try and get them over, or fire them? You never hear about anyone being fired from AEW. You hear about people not working, collecting contracts. The company's swirling down the toilet right now as far as entertainment value. And hey, let's hire an indie guy that has no buzz, or let's start using him, even though we have better known wrestlers that we aren't using on a regular basis. That it's that kind of thing that makes no sense. I mean, even Meltzer, I heard him on Wrestling Observer Radio say this Commander guy who Meltzer really likes, they're using him a lot on TV. He's a Mexican wrestler. Uh, and his spots are even getting repetitive because it's like, how many times are you going to see these Mexican wrestling spots when these guys are wrestling every week and they do the same spots in most of the matches? It loses its impressiveness. And the overexposure of lucha libre to American fans is a turnoff. Apparently, John Cena's Wipeout show used to do a 0.12 rating. Now it's down to like a 0.04. So that show isn't doing as good as it used to do. The WWE A&E shows are down. TNA in 2010 was getting more viewers, and that was the Russo era of TNA, for everyone hating on Russo. I didn't even watch it then, but I'm just saying, give the guy credit. 2010 TNA was getting more ratings. It was getting like 1.2 ratings, better than AEW has ever gotten. I think AEW's best rating was like a 0.66 for Dynamite. Now they're down to a 0.15 recently. But TNA 2010 was getting more viewers than Raw and SmackDown are getting now. More people are watching in other places, though, as well, than in 2010. YouTube definitely existed in 2010, though. WWE apparently cares a lot about sponsors, which is why originally they're going to Netflix. By the way, it's likely Raw and SmackDown are both going to go back to 3 hours, or Raw is going to go back to 3 hours, and SmackDown is going to become 3 hours on Netflix, which is a lot of wrestling to watch, and could be overexposure. And even I heard Dave Meltzer say WWE is like at a tipping point right now. They've pretty much eliminated house shows. You could say the product is still popular because people are watching it on pay-per-views. The ratings are decent. They're getting good crowds to their tapings, but they have eliminated house shows. There's way less shows. There's not really a buzz among non-wrestling fans about wrestling. Maybe when Cena and The Rock, that will change. But Meltzer was bringing up, is the solution to being on a tipping point, let's add way more content, which in many cases waters it down. Many people have said one of the bad things for WCW was when they added Thunder, because of how much it watered down the product. How many people want to watch 3 hours of Raw and 3 hours of SmackDown? I mean, if you have that many wrestlers under contract, I was just talking about everybody signing everybody, and a lot of them aren't doing much for their pay. So I could see the point if Netflix might give them a bonus for another hour, or some of these, or USA or wherever they are on some channels will give them a bonus to go longer. I could see why they would do it, but as a viewer, it seems like there's already too much wrestling on TV. They're going to be doing like a Tough Enough style show on A&E apparently, with the Undertaker, Booker T, and Mickey James coming back. I mean, that is John Cena's. I think she may have dated him at one point. I think she's with Nick Aldis now. She famously got former WWE talent relations executive Mark Carrano fired after her last release. So He was a dick whenever I talked to him in the past, so good for her for that. But apparently, there may have been some consideration for Austin in that Tough Enough show because he was involved in one of the past Tough Enoughs. But he's a pretty controversial figure these days. A lot of this stuff related to him assaulting Deborah, which he pleaded no contest to, is more public now. And he would probably want a ton of money, so they probably figure, well, let's put the Undertaker in there, who is going to be a good guy anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much the most interesting thing about the news. AEW's breakdown and dumb decisions. Cherry Jack's going to be on with me at 5 p.m. Eastern. I wouldn't expect Kato ever in the Hall of Fame. Rick Martel, I think his appearance has changed so much. I'll show you. Well, this is kind of mean, but I'll show you a recent picture of him. I think I know why he's not doing interviews. He even turned down Dark Side of the Ring. I'll show you a recent picture of him. Hold on. And I don't mean to laugh. He was an extremely good-looking guy, better looking than I'll ever be. Where the hell is it? Oh yeah, here it is. I'll take a screenshot of what he looks like now for you, which I believe why he stopped doing interviews and stuff, because he probably wants people to remember. This is just a theory, by the way. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true at all, but he was always known for being such a good-looking guy, and his gimmick was the model and everything. And that's a recent picture of him. I mean, he looks a lot different. So I don't know if it's a vanity thing or what, why he's not doing much. There's your answer from Jack. Jeff Honky Tonk Man is under contract with WWE and is lying low. That's why you never hear from him, because he's getting whatever it is, whatever kind of deal he's under with WWE, and he doesn't want to rock the boat. No, they've shut down the WWE network. They've shut down the WWE networks as of January 1st. So I think it'll still be here this month, but it will no longer be a thing. Saturday night main event with Jesse Ventura. I don't know if he's going to be commentating all matches or just one. It should be interesting. I'll definitely watch whatever match he commentates, but I do think the whole Kevin Owens against Cody Rhodes main event, to me, let's put Cody Rhodes against someone who we think could actually beat him. Because I just don't see any way in any scenario that Kevin Owens has even a 1% chance of beating Cody Rhodes. There's like a 0% chance. So why? The only reason I want to watch Saturday night's main event, or at least check it out, is for the Jesse Ventura commentary. And they say they're going to have no Titantron, it'll be less produced. And I think right now wrestling is overproduced. So I'll check it out. But like, why would I want to see a match where I have no doubt Cody Rhodes is going to be the winner? Because I want to see people slap their legs like Kevin Owens does in every match, because he's never been in a real fight. So he doesn't know that in real fights, when you throw a kick, you don't slap your leg. I don't know. I will eat my hat if Kevin Owens becomes the new champion. I'll eat this hat. How does that sound? I'll be right back with a UFO news update, but at 5 p.m. Andre the Giant fan discussion.